What's up, everyone? Welcome in to, I guess, our new home. CF After Dark, part of Cyclone Fanatic now. We are making the move from Right Natty Lite over to Cyclone Fanatic, and this is our tell-all mission tonight, I guess, if you want.
This is the tell-all.
This is the tell-all.
This is our 60 minutes episode.
This is our lot of questions and things that need to be answered. Hey, you guys got a Guinness, so we I guess we just wanted to come on and explain why we are making the transition from Right Natty Lite over to Cyclone Fanatic, and then answer any questions that might come our way. So I don't know if we're calling this a special edition of the nightcap tonight or what, but
yeah. So it's just the it's not. I guess it's just kind of it's just a podcast that's happening right now. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into like kind of how this is all going to get structured and like that at some point, a little while, but and the nightcap is returning. That the nightcap will remain. We'll kind of talk about where that is. Well, we're 2 minutes into this. We've already got requests for the tiny car.
The tiny car is it is still existing, and ever since I was into the tiny car, we have seen our football coach leave. We have seen
everything went to shit.
The entire football team hit the transfer portal. We hit the transfer portal.
We did, yeah.
Although we're not smart enough to create AI generated images to announce that we're leaving, so we just had to have Aiden do it for us.
Yeah.
And we still haven't released those because they I think Cyclone Fanatic would be reported instantly to Facebook and be taken down.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. Yeah, we don't.
We're generally lucky to have a picture of Cyclone Larry on here and not be reported instantly. Honestly,
that's true. But yeah. As soon as you stuffed yourself into that little Tykes car, everything went to shit, didn't it? But it was funny though, because the way you were doing it though, I got thinking this afterwards, and I was like, oh, we could have done this better. Because I think the bottom of the little Tykes car is open, right? So like you could have just like put it on like a hat.
I could, yeah. I guess I could have.
You still could.
I'm not.
You're looking at it like it's in the room with you.
It is in the room with me.
That's the premium version of it.
Yeah, this is the Patreon version. You have to pay for that. That's the Cyclone Fanatic OnlyFans page.
The OnlyFans page. Yet us doing this, but Matthias is wearing a little Tykes car on his head.
Part of the plan we're gonna roll out to you guys later in about 30 minutes is the OnlyFans portion of this.
Okay. No nudity involved, just like more weird shit.
We're 5 minutes into this and we've already derailed the whole thing. Well, anyways, for those of you who don't know who the hell we are, because I'm sure there are some of you out there. I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf, and this is Levi Stevenson. We are the band formerly known as Right Natty Lite.
Mm-hmm.
Now known as
us, and also like a dozen other people too. Yeah, just to clarify, we are not the only two people involved.
Definitely not. But otherwise, we'd be.
We've got people joining from Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything. This is fantastic. So hi to everybody. If you're new to us, if you've never seen us on a screen before, well, thank you for joining us. You're going to see more of us hopefully at some point too.
And you're in for a treat.
Yeah. Or something. You're in for content that's on your screen. But yeah, so today, tonight is meant to just be a discussion about how this all came to be, why we decided to make the move. We got David Braga right there. One of our Wide Right guys, David Braga, is over there. I'll let you manage chat if I'm talking.
Yeah.
So just and for people that have questions in the chat,
Dylan did not transfer to Penn State Fanatic.
Dylan noted front runner Dylan Kuhn.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they mean Dylan Sainer.
Oh yeah, Dylan Sainer. Oh yeah. I haven't talked to Dylan like the last week or two. I thought we should get Dylan on here sometime. Yeah.
Yes, Jackson. I got the full the full fridge right here. We're ready to roll. What is the protector of my cold ones?
You know, it's funny is it looks like the thing behind you is like it's clearly like a display case for collectibles and such like that, but it does look like it would be like a cooler, like a beer cooler at a stadium. But it's not cars. Okay. Oh, so
how do I get this off here? Here we go. All right. Well, Aiden, where are you?
I did split the G on the initial pour, and then I
see.
Then I took it to the top, and now I'm drinking it back down to the bottom.
Yes, tight end Dylan Sainer is still with us. He will still be part of the nightcap unless Mauser whips him up.
Mauser snipes him for something. Cody wants to know how long until the Dynasty is on the CF After Dark Twitch. Probably pretty soon. Actually, we were talking about doing today because I had a game against Finney, and I lost. So I'm glad we didn't Twitch. Glad we didn't stream that. But anyways, so let's dig into this a little bit here.
Yeah, I guess start from the beginning because I'm gonna let Levi take over this because he's the one who had the direct contact as our managing editor of Right Natty Lite, direct contact with SB Nation and kind of how this all. I mean, honestly, as a group standpoint, I think we kind of all thought that we might end up on our own someday, anyways. But
Matthew Nelson.
I'll let Levi kind of take over, and if you guys are ready for story time, he's very long-winded and he will go. So why Levi?
Okay, so this all started I would say this actually originally started back in 2016, 2017. Wide Right started in 2010, I think is what it was. Back in 2017, when I first joined Wide Right, Fitzy was in charge, Kevin Fitzpatrick, and he was there originally. I think it was 2015, 2017 to 2017 is when he was the managing editor. He was, if people believe this or not, he was getting paid for his effort to run Wide Right Natty Lite. He was getting paid $50 a month, and they gave him $100 a month to dedicate to everybody else on staff. This included 8-9 people, something like that. So on average, people were getting paid $8 a month to write all of these articles and to generate all this attention and stuff like that. Eventually that whole thing blew up into a big lawsuit and all this. And then I took over. I want to say it was the August 1st or July, late July, early August of 2017. Which worked out because that was the beginning of the real beginning of the Matt Campbell era, and that worked out okay. But they had offered they gave me personally $300 a month for a stipend for my effort. So I actually got 6 times what Fitzy got, but still not a lot. I wasn't complaining because it's just a side bit, and I don't it's whatever. But in the end, the money thing is not really a big part of this, but it is one of the factors that leads up to all this, where it's just it's things that keep adding up more and more and more and more. And this was just kind of one of those things where I got $300 a month, which is okay. It was enough to pay for some people to get some equipment and to pay for some monthly subscriptions we have, like Ken Palm and StreamYard and all this. But then I only got, I want to say it was $500 or $400 to dedicate to everybody else. Oh, we got Ryland Barnes is coming back. Hell yeah, Ryland. That'd have been awkward.
Ryland Barnes Farms.
That would have been an awkward one because the Barnes Farms logo is just this is the old tornado bird with just Barnes Farms. But anyways, so I gave you a stipend as much as I could give you, basically as much as I could justify giving you, and still be able to give the other heavy contributors somebody like Aiden got some, Jake and David and Austin. I tried to dish the stipends out as much as I could, but in the end, it was never enough to cover what people actually deserved for what they were doing. Mm-hmm. There was just some people that they did awesome stuff for Wide Right, but I just I literally could not give them any money because they didn't give me any money to give people. And it was just kind of a mass, you guys are getting paid. So that was part of it. But I think where the biggest consternation, the biggest one out of many kind of pieces to this puzzle, which it was never one thing. It was just a lot of different things. Matthias should feed you. I guess we could put the chat on screen.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like, I don't have any money to give Levi. My money's dirty.
He spent it all on that case behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, we got. Yeah, that's where all the money went. It's going into cases.
So it's like but the biggest piece of this of many in this puzzle was SB Nation starting to crack down a bit on satire, which was deeply frustrating for me. I wonder if we get this so it's like not on my face. I don't know. Figure it out. But we'll get it figured out. Anyways, so that was SB Nation cracking down on satire, and they basically came up with they had this plan, they have this idea that they wanted to keep move the site and all sites really in general in this direction of being a straight to the facts report, not necessarily, in some cases actually just a full-on reporting wing, very similar to like what Cyclone Fanatic does and has always done. And in a lot of markets, there are some markets where
DW is now your sugar daddy.
Kind of. And
in Mace.
Yeah. So because there are some teams, some schools where their SB Nation blog is like their biggest outlet. Florida State Tomahawk Nation is definitely their biggest site. They have full on credentials. That's actually Bud Elliott came out of Tomahawk Nation.
Yep.
There is Duke's page is the biggest one. Kentucky's is probably the biggest one. There's if you got the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Pride is by far their biggest site. I want to say Minnesota, the Vikings one is way up there. The Eagles one is way up there.
Yeah, most of the NFL ones have some pretty good followings.
Bears one is way up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like there's a lot of SB Nation sites that have a reputation for like that's their thing, is they do the reporting, they do that. And that's great. That's good for them. If that's what they want to do, fine. But Cyclone Fanatic already existed by Wide Right was literally born out of the Cyclone Fanatic forums. And so it didn't really make a lot of sense for us to try to, Wide Right was born as a completely different website than Cyclone Fanatic. And eventually by the time I got to it, we were doing more of that type, more traditional reporting and commentary. We just kind of did some of that. We did as much of the satire stuff as we could. But even before I took over, there was a couple times where we had published satire articles that got picked up by the Yahoo aggregator and all this, and caused a stir and all that, which is like the whole point. But then SB Nation would go into the articles and not tell any of the writers or even the managing editor of the website, and they would go and put satire on the headline, which sounds like a very like minute, meaningless thing. Like it's just like, oh, you're just putting satire on the headline. But when you're writing satire, like putting satire in the headline defeats the entire purpose of the article. And over time, they kept getting more and more heavy handed with that, where they basically started taking away a lot of our creative freedom. And to the point where this past season, what started out as one satire article that was joking about like Matt Campbell saying everybody's injured except for Rocco, who had a giant hog or whatever. And it ended up being a recurring thing, but like the first one got picked up by the Yahoo News aggregator because apparently this thing is just absolute garbage and picks up anything. What was very clearly a satire article is like, oh, everybody's injured except the quarterback who has a giant hog. Yeah,
penis.
He has a giant penis. Yes. Very clearly satire. No way you could possibly mistake it for anything other than satire. And they still made me put satire in the front of the thing, and they made me delist it from search results and all this. And that was super frustrating. And I was like, this is getting tons and tons of engagement. People are everybody thinks it's hilarious. We ended up doing it in all of the subsequent ones. I didn't do any of the things they told me to do. I just said, fuck them, basically. And which is kind of how we did it. A lot of this, last fall, we just kind of said, fucking just did what we wanted pretty much. Especially like the last like month, we've just kind of did whatever. But you know, it got to the point where the creative freedom was being completely stripped away. And so when you combine that between that, the lack of resources that I was given to, you know, properly compensate everybody for like what they've been doing. Like there were some people like I was never able to pay them anything, any sort of stipend, but they contributed so much. And I felt terrible about it because like, I can't, there was times where like, we've got to get this, like this dumb fucking recap put out. Because that was one of their contract stipulations was we had to have a recap after every game, like a newspaper AP style recap of the game, and which is just beyond like just a waste of time for us when the Register does one, Cyclone Fanatic does one, but you know the various newspapers do one, 247 does one, you know, everybody does a recap and they are all exactly the same. They're all exactly the same. They say almost word for word exactly what the other one says. And so there's nothing original there, but we like had to do it per contract. But if I'm at the game and I'm driving home from a football game and you know, you're tied up with kids or whatever, and Matt's blasted off his ass and he can't type anything. And like, I just need to like,
when isn't Matt blasted off his ass?
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of,
he's probably blasted off his ass right now.
That's just the Matt Nelson life right there.
Yeah.
So if I just like, hey, I just need somebody to cover this, or like even not a game recap, or if it's like, let's say it's not even one of our pieces that were required of us. Let's say it was just, there was a commitment in the middle of the day or something like that. Like a big, like we got a big transfer in the middle of the day. We're like, oh, we should get an article out about this. But I'm busy at work because it's in the middle of the day. We all have jobs. So like finding somebody to be able to just write an article like 1 PM is hard. Because a lot of times, like, you know, you're out driving, I'm doing stuff. You know, we all have jobs. We have stuff to do during the day, like that we have to like use to pay the light bill. So it's hard for me. It became really hard for me to just say like, hey, I need somebody to type this up. By the way, can't pay you for your time. Haven't been able to pay you for any of this shit before, but I need you to drop what you're doing, stop doing your day job and write an article. And like I couldn't in good conscience, like ask anybody to do that. There's a lot of times where I had to like step away from my job to go do that kind of thing. It's either you do that, we find a way to make that work, or we wait till someone gets home and they can type an article, which at that point it's 6 hours past and nobody's reading about it anymore. Because that's just kind of how things work now. So that was really frustrating because they wanted us to do the same stuff as sites that have full-time reporters and journalists that their whole job is to just write these stories during the middle of the day and stuff like that. Like what Jake Bren does, or like what, or like what any of the newspaper reporters do. Like that's their job, is like, if something comes out in the middle of the day, you write an article about it. That's their job. They have that in the middle of the day, but SB Nation was expecting that out of a group of people that have day jobs, and to have day jobs only because they didn't pay any of us to do anything. Basically, they barely paid us enough to have subscriptions to the site that we needed to make content. And all of that aside too. So it's kind of funny because it was back in like 2017, 2018, SB Nation started making a big push towards original video content. That was going to be natively hosted on the site, like not on YouTube. It was going to be video on the sites. And it turns out they kind of ended up just being like early to all that, but like it was also silly to host it natively on the site when you could just put it on YouTube and just grow your YouTube channel, which that ended up being like the direction to go, which is, I mean, that's why we're here right now. But like in the end, they were like die hard, have to write articles. And they would not support anything in the way of video. Like they would, like if I sent them an email and said, hey, we want to buy a couple webcams for guys, they wouldn't do it. Like they would not support anything as far as any sort of modern media or any current way to reach people and to create content for people that people actually use, where it's YouTube, it's social media, it's podcasting and stuff like that. We had to self-fund all of that. I mean, you bought your microphone out of your own pocket. This microphone, this Rodecaster, this whole setup, this key light right in front of me, this was all paid out of my pocket, despite being used to make for content for, for the website. And I'm not complaining about that in particular, just because like I like doing it. I bought it because I like doing it. If I didn't like doing this stuff, I wouldn't have paid for it out of my own pocket, and it would have been nothing. But like, I like doing podcasts. You like doing podcasts. That's why we bought our own shit. And we bought stuff for everybody else to be able to do that stuff, because that was the direction we wanted to go in. That was the direction we thought it made sense to go in, even back in like 2020, before like it really started to switch over to YouTube, and to audio and video content. And we were fairly close to the beginning of that, that trend. And we all basically just self-funded it out of our own pockets. And that sucked. And it was like, we were able to, we tolerated it for a long time, because it was just like, whatever, it's fine. Because we just liked doing it. Basically, we just did it because that was it. We just did it because we liked doing it. And at a certain point, you get so little support from the mothership, that we always called it, that like we were writing articles on the website just to fulfill our contract obligations, and then not bothering with it. But then you also have, when they switch the commenting systems. Okay.
It covers up with the banner, but
so
we've had new people join in here since we started. So again, I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf. This is Levi Stevenson.
Yes.
we are from the band formerly known as Right Natty Lite.
Yeah.
As if you haven't figured that out yet, but
can we is there a way to put names like up top?
Eventually you guys are going to, more.
There's our names.
Yeah. Eventually you guys are going to become more accustomed to who we are. And if you haven't seen us already, and eventually this won't even matter, as you can see on the rest of the Cyclone Fanatic stuff, like there's no names under the banners or anything like that. Yeah. It just doesn't fit with the StreamYard and then the banner. So
I think we might be able to put the names up top at some point. We'll have to figure that out.
We're not smart enough for that. Like, we're just here to ramble on the internet. Like,
that's an Aiden Wyatt problem.
Yeah.
It's funny how that all comes full circle. We'll talk about that too. This
is the most why the heck would I shave?
You don't want that.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, be like baby face.
Nobody
like
wants that
out here.
Yeah, nobody wants that. But yeah, so essentially, what it comes down to is
Aiden is not producing this. That's why we're having trouble.
That's what we're doing it ourselves right now. So we're just kind of doing. We haven't had to produce our own nightcap in quite some time. So what I think I saw a comment about it too before. It's like essentially really what it was is SB Nation did not want to support satire. They didn't want to support audio content. They didn't want to support video content. Guess what are all three of the things that we're really good at doing? All of those: audio, video, satire, all that shit. They didn't want to support any of it. So even if you go back to, and plus if you go back to like 2020. So when I started, the two people kind of in charge of SB Nation of the college sites was Matt Brown was Matt Brown and Carolyn Darney, who were awesome. They were super good to work with. They were great. There's a reason Carolyn Darney works for USA Today now. Matt Brown has the Extra Points newsletter, which has been wildly successful. And he actually, I think just this year, this year, he actually sponsors a bowl game. There's the Extra Points Bowl for Division. I want to say it's Division 2 or Division 3. He has his own bowl game now, which is awesome. So those two were in charge, and they were great to work with. And this was back like in the heyday of SB Nation. Everything was at its peak. You had those guys. You had like the EDSBS crew. You had Ryan Nani and Spencer and all these guys. They had an enormous amount of talent in house. And then COVID came around, which obviously COVID was hard for everybody, but they
yes, we both went to Iowa State.
We are both Iowa State grads. I'm a 2014 construction engineering grad. You are what, 2013?
Yeah,
you're like 1 year older than me, right? Or 2 years?
I'm
winter of 14.
Yeah, I'm winter of 14 too.
I don't know who the fuck you are.
Oh. Yeah, I'm an agronomy major, but I don't even use the dang thing. I sell propane.
He sells propane and propane accessories,
all that good stuff. So
he's killing it over there up in Northwest Iowa. So anyways, we're both Iowa State grad. And if any of these like people that have not seen us before want to like ask us questions just about us, feel free to launch it. Feel free to say.
Yeah, well, I'll interrupt Levi as he talks for a while, and it like a while like turns into an hour. So like if I jump in like that, we'll pause. We'll get through this story eventually, but there's a lot of unknowns about who the heck we are. So
John says how many Wide Right alumni are now at CF?
All of them.
But
and not
the real answer is Jake, Aiden, Dylan, and then so 3 for sure.
Oh God! Here's Aiden.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, now we're in trouble.
Speaking of, he
was sitting in there.
Something wrong?
He was in there watching us. He's like, these guys are idiots. Oh, he fixed it. Look at that.
Aiden just jumped in and put names on the screen.
Yeah,
Aiden in the damn clutch. Excellent work.
He just leaves.
He literally did. He just dropped names in the chat and then just fucking left. That's crazy. He's like Batman.
We will not give you our last 4 of our social security number.
We can put that up on the screen underneath Matthias's name. But anyway, so
that was like a Batman move.
No, he just swooped in, put names on the screen, and then whoop,
that is false. I got in the car. That is false.
So no, it would have been he got in the car and then we merged. So anyways, to kind of where was I? Oh yeah, 2020. So they basically what happened was they let go of Matt Brown, Carolyn Darney, Spencer, Ryan Nani. They let go of all of their talent. They let go of all of it, and they replaced it with some just kind of paper pushers that were at the corporate office someplace. And I will tell you what. So I used to have at least weekly, if not like multiple times a week. I used to have conversations with Carolyn and Matt just about talking about like what different things we can do. Do you know how many direct conversations would you guess that I had? So with the new the person in charge of the college blogs, how many times would you guess I talked to that person since 2020 to right now?
Verbally
or in an email?
Once.
Twice.
That was close.
And the second one was to tell them that we're getting the fuck out. The second one was we're leaving. But yeah, I had talked to her name is Beth one other time in this entire time from 2020 to now, the last 5 years. I had talked to her one time, and that was not even about anything. It was about you know what it was? The one other time I talked to her was when she emailed me asking if Aiden Wyatt was still writing for the website because he had still been getting paid for like a year after he left.
That a boy.
If that's not like the most like classic SB Nation story, I don't know what is. About a year after Aiden left to go work for Iowa Everywhere in Cyclone Fanatic, they were still paying him his monthly stipend for like a year. And they were just like, wait a second, he hasn't written anything in a year. And I was like, no, he hasn't.
Well, Levi can play instruments. I don't do shit. So I don't know how we're going to become ZZ Top.
Well, I mean, ZZ Top, the iconic part is the beards.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I know, but
I can't grow up like where the hair is on my face right now is about where it grows, which is not unfortunately in a good spot. Like, well, you got this goatee up here. This doesn't it just doesn't grow in up there for some reason. I don't.
Children, youth.
I'm convinced it was because when I was a kid, like a little kid, I thought I was like 1 or 2. I accidentally grabbed a pot of boiling water off the stove and pulled it on my head, apparently. And I don't remember it. I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, I'm convinced that thing happened and it just like killed my facial hair follicles above my
chin. Does Aiden still look like God? A lot of you have not seen Aiden in a while, have you?
I feel like Aiden is like shows his face on their podcast.
Yeah. He pops in on all the Iowa Everywhere stuff and
like once or twice a week, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have any more questions I need to get to? Anyway, so you have all that. So we were essentially to paint the picture. Fuck, I'll gas the breakfast. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I the one I'll tell you what,
he's got the start of the Andrew Luck beard going on.
That's exactly right.
The neared.
That's what we'll call it. The Andrew Luck beard. It was funny though, because like I met my wife in early 2021, I think is what it was, and
now we've sidetracked him.
I know I'm not. This isn't a long tangent, but one time I clean shaved, and she's like, "I hate that so much," and I was like, cool. Guess I just have to have this on forever.
Yeah.
Anyways, the kind of paint the picture is like by like beginning of November here. Let's say, this is like beginning of November, or actually we'll say the beginning of the season, actually, like beginning of August. Our situation was we were at a site that wants us to prioritize doing the same things that Cyclone Fanatic does and can do better than us, because they just have people that's their job. And we have nobody in charge, essentially. We're on a zombie ship that wants to go someplace that there's no reason for us to go. We know where we're supposed to go, and they don't want us to go there. That is where we're at.
It is not us running it anymore. They changed the password on us today.
Literally today, yeah, this afternoon. I got the email notification that they had changed the password. So,
but if you see anything on Facebook, it's still me.
Yeah, Matthias is still posting from the Facebook account. But I've been checking it a little bit. Nobody has tweeted from the Right Natty Lite account since they changed the password.
Yeah, we'll go through a little bit of that here a little bit later on, of kind of like what that's all going to look like too. But we'll get through the backstory here quick.
We're coming around the bend towards the.
I got house cleaning items to go through on my sheet here at the end here.
Okay. So anyways, I had talked to Chris a couple times over the last few years about maybe possibly finding a way to get the Wide Right guys over to Cyclone Fanatic, whether it was under Iowa Everywhere or it was under Cyclone Fanatic or whatever it is. I had talked about it I had talked with him about it a couple years ago, really, and it was just kind of thrown around a little bit. We were just like, oh yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. I think we could do some fun things with it, but it just we never really did anything with it. We never really took any real action with it. And then when the first hog report came out, and Estimation's like, you can't do that. I texted Chris and I said, hey, they're putting the clamps on satire again. We want out. I want to try to figure this out. And football season obviously came, because that was like right before we went to Ireland. So like we were there for 2 weeks, and then just shit, once you're in football season, it is you buckle the fuck up and you're just not doing anything until December. That's how football season works when you're like covering it, kind of like Cyclone Fanatic does, or like we do, is once that first game week hits, you're just going day by day, just like, what piece do we got today? What article do we got today? What stream do we got
today? More on
that
later, Nick.
We're going to get to that here very quickly. And then in late October, early November, we finally kind of started with like, okay, I got on the phone. Chris and I talked on the phone for a couple hours. We're like, okay, this is what we can do. We've got this idea. We think this is going to be really cool. Let's make it happen. And I sent an email to Beth saying, hey, this is kind of what we want to do. And this is our plan. Or actually what I did was I said, I need to get on a Zoom call with you. First time I'd ever seen her face. I went on a Zoom call with her and said, hey, we found a different opportunity. We're leaving Right Natty Lite and SB Nation, and we are going to go take an opportunity with a local outfit that we told you that we couldn't compete with in the beginning. And that's what we're going to go do. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yep, pretty sure. Like, yeah, it's already happening. Like she's like, okay. I was like, and we're taking everybody. And she was kind of confused. I was like, yeah, no, it's me, it's Matthias, it's Matt, it's David, Tom, Sean, everybody's coming with. Austin, everybody's coming with. We're taking the whole staff over with us. And she obviously was like, okay, just kind of accepted it for what it is, because in the end, I'm not trying to like bag on Beth too much, but like this is partly her fault. She just kind of like sat there and just like accepted it and didn't like really ask too many other questions, and just said, okay, that just is what it is. And so I said, well, I'm going to be reaching out to you because we would be interested in trying to acquire the Wide Right brand, since that's a very like it's a notable brand within the Iowa State media sphere that we want to be able to, we'd like to be able to keep it, because it predates SB Nation. I mean, SB Nation bought the name from the originals, from the OGs. They bought the rights to it and all that. So I talked to CW, and we got this plan sorted out. Like, this is what we're going to do. And we put together an offer to send to SB Nation. We sent it all along. And I skipped one step. So I said, we'd be interested in buying Right Natty Lite. And I said, let us know what, like if you can send us some. I asked for some data as far as engagement, page views, though that like that kind of stuff. I had a general idea with what some of that stuff was, but as far as engagement data and if they could send along like operating expenses and all that stuff, because then we can use that to put together a reasonably like a competent in the ballpark offer. Because I asked them originally for a ballpark number. She didn't want to give us that. And then asked for like just some numbers so we could at least try to come up with a number, and didn't give us any of that. So I talked to Chris. We got a number put together and said, okay, this is what we're going to offer them. If they take it, awesome. If they don't, he would, and CW was very adamant from the beginning too, that like, we want to get the Right name, but if they won't sell it to us, he's like that doesn't, this whole thing was not contingent on us being able to bring the Right name with us. Like he was very adamant, like from the get go, that like, this is about him wanting us to be there and not just, not just wanting the brand and then just the people come with it. It was, he wants the people and then hopefully the brand can come with it, which I'll be forever thankful to CW for that, because he could have easily just said like, well, you're not coming with this, this Twitter account that has 43,000 followers and you're not coming with the brand and all that. So like, I could hire a bunch of people to just, do that, or like, so why would I bring all of you guys on if you're not bringing that, that brand with you?
Yep.
I wouldn't have been like happy about it, but like I would have understood it from a business perspective. I'm like, okay, that makes some sense. Like I don't blame him necessarily. But he was adamant that he wanted the people before he wanted the brand. So that made it easier too, saying like, we're going to give you the best offer. We're going to give you an offer that we think is reasonable, that we're comfortable with offering. We sent it to him. SB Nation immediately turned back. I'm give me 2 seconds. I can even pull up the email. I'll show him the email. I don't give a fuck. But basically saying that we are like, that doesn't align with our company vision. And, we're not interested in taking that.
There's Andrew, there's a lot of, cease, or I guess copyright infringement laws that like, we went through a various amounts of, like name ideas, whether we could use the initials of WRNL or, all this other stuff, maybe reverse the name a little bit, whatever, but it would still all be like a little bit tied back to the likeness of Right Natty Lite. So it would cause a lot of confusion and possibly legal action.
The legal term there is like the legally like relevant term there is it's called brand confusion. So basically what they would say is even though it's not the name, it's not like a direct rip off the name, it is similar enough that people could confuse it for being one of our things, even though it's not.
Yep.
And that's it's a very vague term in copyright law, because parody itself is very explicitly protected by the First Amendment and by existing parody case law. So like the natural question here, like, so the natural example here is the AHF stuff. The original AHF logo and all that is protected under First Amendment. It's protected by the First Amendment and case law as parody. If we had a trademark lawyer that was willing to go, to donate 6 hours of pro bono time, we could easily tell Iowa to fuck off with that cease and desist and go back and sell those original AHF shirts. We absolutely could. It's just, we'd have to pay for a lawyer and do all that. But this is not parody. This could be trademark infringement. And when it's close enough that it can cause brand confusion, that's where they find some more teeth legally. So here, I'll even pull up the email that I got back from them. Let's see. Yeah. So we sent over our offer. They just said, thank you for sending over your offer. After discussing it with our upper management, the amount offered does not align with our business needs as far as Right Natty Lite domain name and branding and associated social media accounts go. Therefore, I stated in my original message, our plan is to continue with the site and find new staff to provide coverage of Iowa State. We'll be posting the article that we were looking for new staff on Saturday noon. This was a couple weeks ago. Let me know if you have questions. And I just said, thank you for consideration and all that. So basically, they were not even remotely interested. They weren't even not even remotely interested in negotiating or in fielding the offer, in submitting a rebuttal, or in submitting a counter offer. And they weren't interested in any of it. Which I thought was
unfortunately to our anal program, the lawyers were not willing to help us based on that satire article.
Unfortunately, the anal program is at Iowa, so they don't do that. Yeah. So, anyways, and actually, it was interesting though, because what I told them when they said that they weren't willing to sell us the brand, and I said, I told them, I was like, here's the deal. Wide Right has a very specific identity associated with it. It's guys sitting in the basement drinking beer and just spewing shit or whatever. And like, it has satire, it's humor. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't try to be a journalist. It doesn't try to be a reporter. It's a fan. It's a fan writing and recording stuff. That's what it is. So it doesn't really fit the traditional reporting style like CF. It doesn't fit that because it was by design not supposed to be that, because we knew that Cyclone Fanatic already had that covered, and like, we weren't going to be able to do it as good as them anyways. So like, why try to like do exactly the same thing as them when we can just do our own thing, and we can just add to the experience of readers and everything else. We can just add to that and just be an additive piece instead of trying to compete. And I told her this because I was like, before it was called Right Natty Lite,
Fitzy,
since Fox didn't counter your offer, you can only assume that you build a brand to be worth $1 trillion. See, that's on the only reasonable conclusion I think you can come on to, is that it is worth $1 trillion now. So
technically we are worth a lot of money.
Before
terrible Trump impression.
Didn't like that. So anyways, before Wide Right Natty Lite was the name of the SB Nation site for Iowa State, it was called Clone Chronicles. And I said, if you sold us this name, you could easily just rebrand the site. You're not going to be
told what was offered. No.
I'm not going, like, I don't care if you know, but I don't know if CW cares if you know. So like, I'm not, it's really not that important.
Look, we're not trying to get fired.
Yeah.
Not even technically day one into this.
It's technically day -2. So I'm not really trying to like get fired just yet.
I mean, we're honestly going to do plenty of stuff that will push the boundaries of like getting let go anyway. So let's just not try to start that off on day one.
So anyways,
test your limits, boys. He says. I think that would test it right off the top.
Push it. Just see how far we can go. So anyways, we said, you could, if you just sold us this, you guys could rebrand the site as Clone Chronicles and do it like, you would have like, it's a name that sounds like a semi-serious Iowa State blog that would do that kind of reporting. Like that sounds like a real site. That sounds like an actual place that would attempt to report news.
Wait, we didn't do that?
I mean, an attempt was made. I wouldn't say like a good one, but
we don't even know how to spell attempt. So that's a problem in itself.
Yeah, it's tough. But I was like, you guys can just rebrand this as Clone Chronicles. You have a better name for the site that you want to have. Like you don't want satire. You don't want humor, any of this bullshit.
Look at this. Heard SB Nation is looking for writers of CW to say, thanks, man.
You know what's funny? It. So it was funny though, because we were talking about like, are they actually going to be able to rehire anybody? And I was like, the most diabolical thing we could do here is have Cyclone Larry stick back and just be like the only guy that applies for the managing editor spot. And so the site is just nobody but the rantings of a madman named Cyclone Larry, which honestly would be pretty funny.
We can't release. It would be a funny. It would be this definitely goes under the can't release satire articles. But Cyclone Larry did have a very good suggestion today to basically post on the Wide Right website on the last day and then just leave. So that's the type of managing editor that SB Nation is going to acquire.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the like the sort of like half serious, not so unserious plan was to just have Larry stay back like a sleeper cell and just be the guy that takes over and then run that shit right into the ground. But I mean, in the end, SB Nation was not remotely willing to negotiate. So, and what SB Nation owned was
kind of, yes, yeah.
That's honestly, that is precisely what is happening here. So basically, so what SB Nation owns is they own the brand, they own everything on the website, the written content on the website. They own that. They own the brand, and they own the Twitter account, and they own the Facebook account. Those are the only 3 things they own. That is it. They don't own the podcast network. They don't own the YouTube channel. They don't own the Twitch channel. They don't own the Blue Sky account. They don't own the Instagram account. They don't own any of it. So we can take all of that stuff with us. We just have to, we can't take Twitter with us, which sucks because there was 43,000 followers.
But thanks to you guys, we're already rocking and rolling here with some extra followers.
Yeah, I mean, like in the first 48 hours, we'd essentially, what we did was we repurposed the old ISU No Context Twitter account, and which had like 2,700-ish followers, something like that, 2,600.
Yeah.
And essentially in 48 hours, we've doubled that account. So I think it's up to like 5,200 right now.
Yeah. For those who don't remember that ISU No Context page, Aiden and I were basically dicking around one time and like, hey, we thought this would be a great idea. And then we both lost interest in it.
I saw, you made like 1 month's worth of posts and then nothing else. It didn't take that long to clear that account out.
Yeah. So for those who, I saw a couple of questions on the Cyclone Fanatic forums and the Discord page and some other stuff on Facebook and Twitter. People were wondering what the account was before. It was the ISU No Context page, and it was basically it wasn't being used. It was already Iowa State themed, so why not? Mm-hmm. And we weren't starting from fresh, basically. That we cheated. Yes.
Yeah.
Sue us.
We did technically cheat. But so in the end, that's why we're a different thing. And then there was also at the last moment, at the 11th hour, we did like have another reason that it kind of made sense to switch away from it, is that both the Wide Right and the Natty Lite all happened long enough ago that there are kids in college at Iowa State right now that were not alive when either of those things happened, which one makes me feel very old. But 2, it's 20 years. Like that stuff happened over 20 years ago. I mean, the Larry Eustace thing happened 25 years ago, and Wide Right was not long after that.
Yeah. The picture on the bottom right of the screen was a very long time ago.
I mean, it's like an amazing name for what the blog is and was/is. But aside from it, like it would have been nice to hang on to it, and if we could have hung on to it, we absolutely would have. But like if you're trying to find a way to kind of find a silver lining in it, is that Wide Right Natty Lite is a somewhat dated name in terms of like references. Like you could find more recent references for something like that. Yeah, Wide Right was 2000. Well,
Carter, we don't need help feeling.
So why? Well, so no, I think what you're thinking of is Tony Yelk. That was actually Wide Left. The Wide Rights it's referring to are the 2 missed field goals. One was against Missouri, and the other one was against, I want to say Kansas, in like 2005 and 2006, or 2004 and 2005. So different wide field goal, but that's also a perfectly valid missed field goal to mourn over. The clamshell from Twitch. So Matthias is definitely waiting for this run-on sentence to end.
Hey, full disclaimer, I did start this podcast by saying I'm gonna let Levi talk because I know he can, and I have the most information. I got my time. Wait, I got my time ready to roll later on, so don't you guys worry.
I'll be dead in the cold grave where I recognize Missouri. I mean, in the end, I also am like the one that was doing all of the
that's what I mean. That's why
I have all of the information too. So that's
like I know what happened, but I can't tell the story like Levi, because Levi was living it, and like I was just here, because he was the one that had a direct contact with SB Nation. I never did. The only time I ever talked to them was like, hey, you idiot, you need to set up your account on WordPress, and I told them to lick my butt. So yeah, that's really all I ever talked to SB Nation for. So I didn't really need to do any of that. And so here we are.
So kind of the end of this is that we couldn't get the name. We rebranded we rebranded everything that we were able to hang on to, which is the podcast network, which is the YouTube channel. I actually forgot. I still have to rebrand the Instagram account. I'll get around to that. We also don't post on that often. Maybe as often as we should.
That probably will be changing a little bit now that, we have, I don't know.
That's true.
People with ideas.
Maybe we can post on Instagram now. And all that. So like all that stuff we were able to rebrand, which is why you were probably like, if you were already subscribed to the Wide Right YouTube channel, you were already subscribed to this same channel. So that was good. Had to remake Twitter and Facebook. We would have loved to keep the Twitter account, but we just couldn't. And that's kind of how we got to where we are now.
And that's not to say that someday that's, the name or anything like that. I mean, maybe the CF After Dark, we expand this into a lot more than what we think it is, and it'll never go away. But it's not to say that there isn't a chance that someday that the Wide Right brand does come back with it. We just can't physically have it today.
Yeah, I mean, we're operating as though this is just what it's going to be called forever. Yep. If SB Nation is not able to find a staff to fill the new site and they just shut it down or it tanks in a year or something like that. If that's what happens and then they're willing to sell it to us for pennies, maybe, or even our original offer or something like that. I don't know. If we're able to acquire the brand in the future, maybe we use it. But if this is going well and the brand sticks and we all like it and all that, we might just choose to if we can reacquire the rights to Wide Right, so at least we can say we have it, and it's not just being held hostage by some shadowy corporate overlord. That would still feel like a win. And I think I know the OGs would be interested in doing that. I know for sure that Dan and Jer and all those they offered to pitch in cash to sweeten the offer to SB Nation, and I would do the same. But we'll see. That day may never come. If that day comes, great. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. If it's 5 years down the road and, this is and CF After Dark is a well-established thing, then we'll probably just stick with it. But we'll see. Right now, I'm not this fucking guy. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at with it right now. Yeah. So that's how we got here. Imagine that was 52 fucking minutes of explanation, but.
Well, okay.
Do you have another question? What's your second question of the podcast?
Okay. So first things first, for those of you who don't know, and maybe you're all too old or whatever it is, we do have what is called the Discord, which is kind of a more modernized version of the forums. Obviously, Cyclone Fanatic already had an established forum in place, which is wildly successful. You get the Patreon, you get the premium board, all that stuff where everybody, you get Chris Williams, inside bits and all that stuff. That's all still alive and well.
Our CF Discord part of this, Cyclone Fanatic, is exactly as it was and is exactly as it will be.
And so our Discord is coming over with that has been rebranded. If you have Discord and you are not part of our Discord, you are free to join that, which we will post links on all of our socials here at some point to join that. But that is we have game threads in there during the games. It's live, continuous chat. It's basically you're texting all your buddies all at once. It's one big giant group chat. It's got various different things that are in there, from women's basketball, men's basketball, football chat, all that stuff, NFL, all the pro sports. You can chat about that and everything. So feel free.
I can pull it up on the screen so these people can see what it looks like.
Feel free to join the Discord, and then obviously support the Cyclone Fanatic forums as well. Those will continue to be the same and separate.
I gotta find the right chat room to open it up to, so there's some weird shit on the screen.
Podcast. all of our podcasts will be streamed live on YouTube. Everything that you're viewing it on right now, this very moment, you'll still be able to see it there. And then you can subscribe to the Cyclone Fanatic TV YouTube page and the CF After Dark YouTube page. And you'll be able to get all the video content after everything's been posted or everything's been live streamed. It'll all be there for you to consume afterwards. But we will also continue to post, if you're already following what was formerly known as the Right Natty Lite podcast network, if you're already following that on Spotify, iTunes, whatever it may be, it'll still continue to be that. It's already been rebranded. And this live stream will get posted on there afterwards as well, that you could do that. And then obviously we've already mentioned on it already, but the YouTube page will still be the same, whatever we do. If the guys have a podcast that's not live, it'll be posted on there as well. If Levi and I decide to bring back the hype tapes next year, those will be back there as well. Obviously, that has helped us grow our YouTube page tremendously, but they are a ton of work. And if there isn't a lot of, we're not actively videoing the football games and things like that. I know Jake did that a lot this year, but it still takes time to take all that video and make it make sense for a hype tape. And it's just a ton of work. We don't have, Levi and I personally have the high-tech cameras for that kind of stuff to make it look good.
I actually do own the cameras, but we don't have the press. We don't have the press pass for the sideline.
We had a press pass at one point,
we had a press pass for the booth, but we stopped doing that because they wouldn't let us drink beforehand.
Yeah, also that. So more YouTube content to come. It just depends on what it is, and
so the general structure. So what it's going to start out as is it's going to be post game. It's going to be post game. So after basketball games, CW and Jake will do their post game show that they always do. It's like 15-20 minutes, whatever it is. They'll do that, and then basically right after that or shortly thereafter, we will start our post game show, which is going to be more of an informal fan type discussion. We'll absolutely bring on comments. We might do call in stuff for people that want to do that kind of thing. So that's like on January 2nd after the West Virginia game, you'll see myself, Matthias, and I believe Tom Turner is going to join us as well for doing the post game after that. So that'll be this network's, Cyclone Fanatics version of the call-in shows and all that stuff. And it'll be very just kind of a fun fan discussion. Car says y'all will do reviews of CW's. But yeah, we will grade CW's post games.
That's the first segment.
That's the first segment is like, all right, how did CW do on his post game? That would actually be a pretty funny bit, actually. But that's the first thing that's going to happen. You'll see it on Friday after the West Virginia game. Starting next week, we're going to start out with 2 nights a week. We're definitely going to have a Thursday night crew, a Thursday night show, probably starting at 7, I'll say 7 or 8. And we'll go live with the basketball crew. So if anybody is not familiar with our show, Offensively Offensive, it's Tom Turner and Sean D and Nate Schuster, former walk on there. They do that stuff. I don't know. And then Dylan Kuhn from Let 'Em Cook from CF, and also does stuff with Wide Right, and Nigel Dyson. They're combining. It won't be 5 people on it. Probably I told them the main core is Tom, Sean, and Dylan, and then they will, they're kind of in charge of that, and then they'll figure out a 4th guest, or if they just do those 3, whatever it is. But basically, Thursday nights is going to be the basketball night. That's when we're talking hoops. So that, we'll let you know for sure exactly if it's like 7 or 8 o'clock, but essentially you'll be able to count on that every Thursday night. You'll be able to hop on the CF YouTube page and we'll be talking hoops. And that is that's going to be a thing. And then we'll start off with one other night in the week. I'm thinking Monday is probably what we'll do. I think the next Monday night we'll go on to be it'll be myself, Matthias. We'll see if we can get Dylan Sainer on. We'll do that kind of thing. And we'll have a Monday show as well. We'll talk some football stuff. It'll be more general type stuff as well. Eventually we're going to start off with 2 nights a week because we want to kind of get in the flow of things and just kind of figure out, kind of get in a rhythm and figure out how everything's going to work. So David's in the chat with women's basketball. David will also be jumping in on Thursday to do a women's basketball segment. So we'll have the men's basketball guys, they'll be kind of the main host, and then we'll bring in David as well that night to talk women's basketball as well. So Thursday night will be men's and women's hoops. I should have clarified. It's men's and women's hoops on Thursday. Let them cook dead. As far as I know, they're going to keep doing it. I'm not sure. That's a Cyclone Fanatic pod. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still going.
As far as I know, their plan is to continue to do that. But our hoops night is Thursday. You can count on that. And then to start off with, it'll be a Monday show with myself and Matthias and maybe Dylan Sainer, whoever it is. That's what maybe I'll bring Marchie in. Oh my God, Dylan and March in the same pod.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So that's what it's going to be to start off with. But my anticipation is by the time we get to next football season, we'll have probably, I'm thinking 3 shows a week at least. We'll have like a Monday crew. It'll probably, ideally, once this thing is fully spun up and going, and we're at full speed. Essentially, most days of the week, you're going to have content. You're going to have video content on the Cyclone Fanatic YouTube page multiple times a day, every day, or every weekday, I should say. Like in the morning, you'll have CW. Like Monday morning, you'll have CW and Bloom, and then Monday night, you'll have myself, Marchie Murdoch, and Jordan Harris as for the Down the Pipe crew, and then Tuesday, you'd have, whatever CF, maybe it's just Jake in the morning or whatever it is, or it's bigger than 12, whatever it is. And then Austin and Matt on the Lightcast. Then Wednesday, we'd have, Wednesday, they'd have another CW and Bloom. And then night would be myself, Matthias, and Dylan Sainer. Then Thursday night, we'll probably do hoops, or we'll have something else going Thursday night. Ideally, once this thing is fully up and running, it is, Monday through Thursday, you're going to have programming twice. You're going to have programming every morning, every night.
Again, we did preface this before the show. This was the Levi tell-all. He wasn't originally going to do just a video, but we thought, hey, it might be a little more fun to do a podcast. I'm just here to knock it off the rails every once in a while. And
I mean, we're getting to the part now where we can both chime in too. But yeah, a lot of this was
bullshit session now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this was just me telling all of the stuff on how this happened because I was the person doing this stuff. But anyways, so that's kind of the plan.
I'm just long term benefits.
Right away, we will not have written content. The idea is after a month or two, we'll have a site. It'll link from Cyclone Fanatic, but it'll be our own thing. It'll be our own URL, but it'll be linked from the homepage.
Matthias ate his neighbor. That's an old one.
How did that bit escape our Slack? I forgot about that. That's funny.
That's the best thing about this, and I think for the people who enjoyed the old wide right Natty Lite and things like this, like the creative handcuffs, as we've initially talked about already, is going to basically be off, where we do have a lot of people that have the ability to write a ton of satire that is really good. We've seen the comments over the last 2-3 years about, wide right Natty Lite isn't the same what it used to be. Well, we couldn't be, as we've alluded to already, but a lot of that's going to start coming back once written content comes up, and it's going to, it's not going to be really crazy, but there's going to be a lot of the creative handcuffs that are going to be taken off, and there's going to be more satire content popping out, and it's going to be fantastic.
So I forgot I actually pulled it up so I could show people kind of what the Discord actually looks like. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I'm pulling our names off the screen for a second. So here is what the Discord, generally speaking, looks like. See if I can make it a little bit wider. So on the side, we've got chat. I can zoom in. Yeah, maybe I can zoom in.
Yes, Freddie, you still get to use that GIF that I hate that people.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, it's.
So we've got chats for lots of different things here. We've got the 1012 podcast has a section in here as well. We've got Iowa State football, Iowa State basketball. We've got the Olympic sports here, wrestling, softball, all of that. Pro sports. We've got general discussion about a bunch of different things. We've got a gambling one. We've got home and garden. People talk about lawn care and stuff like that. I did see a question earlier about agronomy conversation or something or it was grain markets or something like that.
There is an ag section.
There absolutely is an ag section right here. We've got food and stuff like that where people are posting stuff about restaurants and just stuff.
Kyle, it's really not that confusing. Once you get if you haven't used Discord, yes, it's going to be confusing to start, but once you get into it, it's pretty easy to navigate. And
it looks like there's a lot going on, but it's really,
and you can minimize things, you can hide things, you can just see what you want to see. And there is a politics channel, yes,
there is. It's actually fairly tame.
You have to agree to the rules before you get in.
Yeah, the politics thing is an opt-in.
You basically have to.
Yes. So there's a mobile app for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't police it too much, but like it's basically if I get warned of something, like you get one strike, you're out in the politics channel.
Politics is very much a one strike. It's an opt-in thing. You definitely don't have to be in it. But I know it. It seems daunting. You could ignore this, and this is just all the different servers I'm in. These are just all your topics. This is your conversation. I know it seems like daunting. There's a lot of shit going on the screen. I promise you, it is some of the most engaging conversation you'll ever have. Here's our chat where we have our college football 26 connected dynasty with everybody in it. We're playing games against each other and recruiting against each other and all that stuff. So there's conversation in here for
there is not stuff
everybody
stuff in there. No,
that would probably go into the hobbies section if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that goes under the OnlyFans section that we talked about at the beginning of the podcast. That is more to come later.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of generally where you put it. But anyways, there's the there's the gift. Oh my god, this is a gold mine. We've got Matthias in the car.
Yeah,
and then
for those who don't know about the car, there it is, and then there's my
there's the GIF. I can't remember what the context was.
Explaining the trip to Kansas State and why they were walking around doing that motion like it was normal.
Oh, like the Kansas State has like this thing that they do
and they were doing it like up to their mouth like that GIF. I'm like, what on earth does this make any sense? It was so
funny too because you're like I already know this is gonna get GIFed, and you just went like this, and we're like, yeah, we're GIFing that. Yeah, like I don't know what to tell you, but. Yeah,
and that was my review of an away trip to Kansas State.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up some of these comments here too. Will there be T-shirts? Maybe at some point, probably.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of like AHF stuff that like isn't used anymore just because we didn't really we did have a way, like Levi had a way to make that stuff accessible for people to purchase, and we did have let me see if maybe you have it too, Levi, in there. But if you look right there, the AHF wooden, we did sell those at one point in time too.
Yeah, mine is right there.
Yep. So, and that other Jack Trice one. But we did have all that stuff at one point. It just became more of a tax thing for Levi to pay attention to, and we ain't got time for that.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, that whole thing was a nightmare too. That's a different story for a different day. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, at some point we'll probably do some sort of merch.
We actually cannot do the circle because years ago we got a cease and desist from the University of Iowa for actually using the circle.
He's not talking about the Circle AHF logo. He's talking about literally putting WRNL on a shirt with the
that would be kind of funny.
I mean, actually, yes, we could get away with that because there is a radio station in Virginia called WRNL. So you could easily argue it's like, this is just, we don't like the radio station in Virginia.
I like this one.
Listen, if we did an NBA Jam shirt for with pairs of all the writers,
it'd be
weird to see my face on a t-shirt, but
we could put you and I in it, and then the stats are talking 100 for you and 5 for me.
There you go.
Yes, there is a Notre Dame flag in the garage. Story for another day. It's pretty well known at this point. Like anybody who's followed me along the lines, I know some of you people here don't really know who we are yet.
I'm very curious who Rise and Fire One is because they are bringing up some deep lore in the comments.
Yeah, who the fudge is that?
Let's go. Larry in the fucking house plans. That's some deep Slack lore that you'd only know if you know somebody in the Slack. Oh wait. Who is it? It's got to be someone to check the Slack. Who the fuck is it? Sorry, this is bad radio. It's Sean. Okay. It's Sean D. So Sean D is one of our hoops guys. I was like, who the fuck? Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of, I'm trying to think.
No docs, please.
No docs, please. Yeah. So, is there anything? What else you got on your housekeeping list of shit we need to talk about? Oh yeah. So to clarify, I think you mentioned this, but the podcasts currently are going to be uploaded to, like, if you're subscribed to us on Spotify or to Apple Podcasts or whatever else, those will all still be there. They'll still be branded as the shows they are. Even if they're getting live streamed on CF, just as the Nightcap generally. So the Nightcap is going to be the name of just our YouTube content on Cyclone Fanatic. The whole thing's going to be called the Nightcap. We just have a different crew every night. And then the audio versions of those will get uploaded as their shows on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that too. So if you're used to listening to Down the Pipe and Natty Lite and the Lightcast and Offensively Offensive and the Nightcap and all that, they'll still be uploaded as that. We might have to find an actual name for the Nightcap since the whole thing is the Nightcap, but we can figure that out later. But that's how it's going to be essentially.
So if you don't already follow the stuff on social medias, but Facebook is literally just CF After Dark. That's all it is. Search it up. If you go back, like if you can't find it, you could go on the Cyclone Fanatic page and go back a few posts from Sunday. And it's actually tagged in there. You can follow us on Facebook. And then on Twitter, it's After Dark CF because CF After Dark was taken, I guess.
Yeah, CF After Dark was taken by a podcast called Close Friends After Dark, which created their account in September. They have 0 followers, they followed 0 people, and they have 0 tweets. So just sitting dead.
Yep.
So Slack invite, you don't want that.
Yeah.
But we can. What would be the preferred way for you guys for us to share the Discord invite with everybody? We can post on the Facebook page. We can post on the Twitter page. Is there any place besides Twitter or Facebook that you guys would want us to share the Discord link to? Put that in the comments for us too. We can accommodate all that stuff. So I think, it's a good time.
Share it on OnlyFans.
Yeah, share it on OnlyFans. Classic. Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you got anything else on your? I
don't know if we can share the Discord on a CF thread. I don't know. That's a thing for Jake.
I don't know for sure if that's a thing or not.
Yeah. So I guess the important part is to just follow us on social media, and that's where everything will kind of get trickled out on everything there. Levi primarily posts on the Twitter. I kind of take care of the Facebook if I remember it. But we're gonna do it. It's hard to remember Facebook half the time just because of, a lot of us are active through Twitter, things like that. That's kind of like the preferred sports engagement, I guess. But we will do our best to make sure everything is on everything that we have, from Blue Sky to Facebook to Twitter and YouTube, obviously. And just a reminder, our first technical live stream is going to be after Jake and Williams are done on Friday night after the West Virginia game. I think that game tips off at 7, right?
8. It's an 8 p.m. tip off on Friday.
So it'll probably be about 10:30 p.m. that we will be on live on YouTube, Twitter, all the good stuff. And we'll take it off from there. So none of this, while it does look a little bit different, eventually we're going to get back into the full swing of things, with the written content and all that other stuff. It'll start to feel like the Right Natty Lite of old and then some. So, just hang with us as we work out the kinks and everything. And we'll hope to bring you a lot of good Cyclone content and just to amplify what, Cyclone Fanatic already has to offer throughout the day. And we'll try to take it up another notch on everything. So,
yeah, like I said, it's kind of we're kind of getting back up to speed and kind of, it's a learning process for us too, and just kind of figuring out exactly how the rhythm of all this is going to work. But over time, we'll keep building on it, and we're all really excited about it. This is going to be a lot of fun. Gives us a lot more opportunities to do fun stuff too. So,
let's see. I think we got everything. So I guess I'm gonna give 5 minute warning here. Somebody, if you guys have any other questions about anything before we jump off here, but I will allow some other questions to pop in the chat before we jump off. But
yeah, this is a good time if you got questions to ask. Absolutely, this is your time to.
The little Tykes car will make another appearance at some point in time. That one popped up.
I wonder if we can just make like a helmet that just looks like one.
Oh, you know those giant hats that everybody wears like NFL games, like the big.
Yes. Yes. I wonder if we can get one of those.
You have to. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna turn this into a Chicago Bears.
Did Dontrell Holt just announced that he's staying? Nice.
So David's gonna hate that I bring this up, but
Andrew wants to know where we're from.
I currently reside in Spencer, Iowa, in Northwest Iowa. I lived in Ames for 14 years, and now we are back up in Northwest Iowa.
I am over in Cascade, Iowa, over by Dubuque.
So after the Bears beat the Packers 2 weekends ago or whatever it was, there was a foam hat going around of the giant cheese grater. Like DJ Moore put it on after he caught the touchdown pass, and it was just a cheese grater. Well, there's a backstory on that the guy who owns, it's called Foam Party Hats. It's like some small operation in Texas. Like you can have custom foam hats made. Well, he, like one of the top selling items for NFL fans to buy is the cheese head for the Packers. Well, this guy thought he could make his own version of the cheese head and sell it. Well, the Green Bay Packers sent him a cease and desist letter. And so he had to stop making them. So he got so petty enough that he started creating the cheese grater hat. And after the Bears won that game on Saturday, they were running around with the cheese grater hat. And this guy's sales
just exploded.
Exploded. Like he can't even keep up anymore. So I think that guy does make custom foam hats. So we could get a custom foam hat of the little Tykes car.
That would be fun. That's how we do that.
That'd probably be a lot cheaper than buying the giant NFL hats that they have.
Oh, I would assume, yeah. It's got to be. Yeah.
David, you do not love the cheese grater hat. You're lying.
Oh, shit.
What a mess.
What a mess.
Well, live broadcast or from my tailgate, Steve Kemp says we have done live tailgates live broadcasts from tailgates, but we will certainly we wouldn't do it every week, but I'd entertain the idea of every once in a while. Live broadcast from Welch Ave would be sick.
Live broadcast from Welch would be sick. Mr. Fierce Minutes, are you going to have written content CF or on a separate? So we're not going to have written content right away, but eventually we will have our own site called CF After Dark. It'll be its own separate URL, but it'll be linked from the CF page. The reason being is that we want to keep a bifurcation between our ability to do satire and Cyclone Fanatic's journalist reporting. So that way they don't get confused. They're like, oh, Cyclone Fanatic is doing a bunch of shit talking or something like that or whatever. No, that's After Dark. That's the After Dark guys. It's a different group. It's a different thing. Cyclone Fanatic is its own thing. So eventually we will get to more. We'll get back to written content. It'll be our own site that will be linked to from Cyclone Fanatic, but not right away.
John asked if Josh Lenz will ever be a guest commentator again. Never say never, but he's got 4 girls.
Yep, 4 girls now. I think the oldest one's 8 too.
Yeah, they're busy and traveling all the time. I'd still keep up with him a little bit, but he's
we can probably get him back on for a one-off type of thing. He just probably won't be able to be a regular guest anymore.
Yeah, after they had their 4th kid, it kind of got too much for him, and I totally get that. So he got a promotion within the insurance. Well, I think he moved on to it. I'm not going to speak for Josh.
Josh has a lot of shit going on.
He's busy.
Josh has a lot of stuff going on.
Corey Morrissey's been on too. He's always willing. If he gets time, he would probably be willing to hop on too.
I've talked to him about a little bit. He's a police officer, so his schedule is all crazy. So it's hard for him to commit to weekly stuff. But we could get him on as a one-off thing once in a while.
We've had Jake McDonough.
And Corey, if you're watching, come on the show sometime.
Obviously we have Dylan, we have Marchie, we have Jordan. So a lot of guys, we've had Cold Netton too. A lot of guys that have played under the, Rhodes and, Matt Campbell eras. And we hope to, keep bringing those guys on as they, join. And obviously with the Cyclone Fanatic, we got, ample guys there too that have, played within the, the Iowa State confines as well. So,
we're not blocked by Jamie Pollard yet. So that's good.
Yeah, we are not
currently.
We will be.
Currently not blocked by Jamie Pollard.
We will be.
All it will take is for one more dumb radio rant for me to tee off on him again.
I don't know if the Jamie Pollard rants will be like hot and heavy as they were, but
no, probably not.
We'll have to see. We'll toe that line. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, I think people are, we're probably all a little bit transfer portal out, I guess. So we're not really going to, we've already done this for an hour 20. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff, but I'm sure some of that will pop up next week as we get these things rolling here. And
well, next week, because the portal opens on Friday. So next week we should be able to talk
more
about
on Monday night, I guess.
We'll probably have like news on incoming players then.
I will be broadcasting live Monday night from the great state of South Dakota in Vermilion.
I've been to Vermilion one time.
I'm going to be in Vermilion for 4 straight days.
Worst road trip ever.
It's not the great place.
I don't even have a thing against Vermilion. It's just the road trip back was absolute hell. Yeah. But
gross, dude. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, everything. CF After Dark on Facebook, After Dark CF on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Matthias ISU now. Levi, yours is Levi R. Steve?
Just Stev. Yeah. Levi R. S-T-E-V. Yeah. So we will post the link to the Discord on Facebook and Twitter.
I can't believe CW already exiled Matthias to South Dakota.
He's our resident Yotes reporter.
Yep.
He can report on.
I'm going out there to do some scouting for the transfer portal.
Well, they actually do have guys in the portal that we
could use.
That we are potentially going to. I think there's their punter. I think is actually really good.
Well, we do need a punter.
And
an offensive line, a quarterback, wide receivers, running back, tight ends, linebackers, cornerback, safeties.
Groundskeeping crew. I don't know.
I saw the Campanile was in the transfer portal earlier today.
Campanile's got blue and white all over it.
We need a Campanile. What else do we need? Everything. A band. The band's in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Helmet car.
Drank horn. Juicy Wiggle.
Cologne cone, hopefully.
The Vuvuzela.
The Vuvuzela.
The Vuvuzela's in the portal.
The bridge also went in the transfer portal.
Yeah, the bridge is going to get helicoptered out of here. Yeah.
Ryman Gardens is gone. The south end zone's gone.
The giant badminton birdie.
The Cytown hasn't even got started. It just left.
The elevator core for the hospital's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. Haunted Forest.
Haunted Forest left a while ago. It saw the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Man, tough scene.
Estas
got out a long time ago. Shout out to former Right Natty Lite sponsor Estas.
Yeah.
We ran them into the ground. It's our fault.
Yeah, definitely our fault that Estas went out of business.
The clone cone is in the transfer portal.
There you go.
I've entered it. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, the giant gnome. I forgot about the giant. Yeah, the baseball team.
The baseball team entered the transfer portal before it was cool.
Cale Sanderson transferred to Penn State before it was cool.
Too soon.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, we're not soon enough. I don't know. Who else left? Fred Hoiberg.
Adam Haluska.
Steve Prohm. He got
I
told.
I wouldn't say he left.
He got told to hit
I wouldn't say he hit the portal. KJ Kindler, that's a name.
Greg McDermott twice. He went from UNI and Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep.
You know who hasn't entered the transfer portal? Billy Fennelly. Nope. He's hanging out. He's beat it out. Stephen Leith.
Stephen Leith tried to transfer portal his ass into a runway.
Yeah, sure did. Wendy Winterstein
in the portal. Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Omaha
Blue. Literally.
Emmanuel Malou.
Never forget.
All
right. Well, yeah, guys, follow us on social media. We'll be posting the link to the Discord. I'll probably do that here relatively shortly. And then we'll see you guys on Friday night at like 10:30.
Fucking late. Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. Well,
I might be in my hotel room at that point in time.
It will probably be off the rails. I might have a few cervezas. If we're going to do this right, we're going to do this right.
Yeah, we're going to do it right. Yeah.
It's going to be an hour of post-game talk.
People aren't going to watch us for some sober basketball talk. What the hell are we talking about here?
Chiswick coin in the transfer portal.
Chiswick coins. Yeah, man. That's a
Paul Rhodes. All right. Well, we'll see you guys on Friday night. Thanks for hopping on. Again, I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf. This is Levi Stevenson. We will
they know that because our names are on the screen now.
That's true. And we'll be back to grace you with our presence so you can learn more about us, and we'll hope to keep this train rolling and do Cyclone Fanatic proud. So thanks for hopping on, all 5,800 of you for the first time. So it's been fun, and I hope you learned, I guess, why we're doing this, and we gonna take this to another place, I guess.
Appreciate everybody tuning in and all the chat and all that. Really, really appreciate that.
All right, thanks, guys. We don't even have exit music. That's how bad this is.
No, we used to have like an outro and all this.
Wait, should I do it?
Don't do that.
Okay.
We'll save it for next week.
All right.
That's like our bit. We can't.
No, I still have that video.
We don't have an outro video too, where you can just cut it off.
I still have the video of the car.
I don't.
Nah, we ain't doing it.
All right, we'll
see you guys later. I'm ending the stream right.
We're not going to burn the car video just yet.
I'm going to end the stream now.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Later.